Okay, so there's a massive technological shift on the horizon. I mean, one that's going to completely rewrite the rules of digital security as we know them, and believe it or not, create a whole new economy of intelligent machines. Today, we are diving deep into how one company, SEALSQ, is laying the groundwork for this quantum future.
So let's just start with a question, a big one. What if a single computer could become a universal key? I mean, a machine so powerful it could crack the encryption that protects, well, everything. Your bank account, government secrets, your private messages, all of it just gone in an instant. And look, this isn't science fiction anymore. This is the dawn of the quantum age.
And the stakes? They could not be higher. As SEALSQ's CEO Carlos Moreira puts it, that kind of power in the wrong hands, well, it could unleash total chaos. It could dismantle everything from global finance to our power grids. So yeah, the race is on. The race to build a whole new kind of defense.
And listen, this is not some far-off, distant threat. Just look at this timeline. The moment current encryption becomes useless is called Q-Day, and experts think it could be just 3 to 5 years away. Governments are not waiting around. The US has already set a 2027 deadline for its most critical infrastructure to be quantum ready. And by 2030, any of those old, vulnerable systems, they're out. The clock is absolutely ticking.
So, how do you defend against a quantum computer? I'll tell you this. It's not a simple software patch. No, this requires a complete rethinking of how we do security, and it all has to start at the most fundamental level, the silicon chip itself.
You see, for the last 45 years, our digital world has been protected by software based on really hard math problems. But for a quantum computer, those problems are going to be a piece of cake. That's where post-quantum cryptography, or PQC, comes in. It's a totally new kind of math, a new set of unbreakable locks. And here's the crucial part. It's not just software anymore. This new security is being physically built right into the hardware, into the microchip itself.
And that brings us to this core idea, the hardware root of trust. The best way to think of it is like a digital birth certificate, or maybe DNA for a device. It's an identity that's permanently etched into the silicon. It makes every single chip unique, impossible to clone, and impossible to fake. The device itself becomes the foundation of trust.
So SEALSQ has taken this concept and built an entire system around it, what they call the root to quantum platform. It's a full-stack solution. Step 1, they secure the silicon with that root of trust. Step 2, they load it up with those new post-quantum algorithms. And then Step 3, they manage the security of that device for its entire life, from the factory floor to when it's retired, maybe decades later.
Now, a technology this fundamental isn't just another product to sell. It becomes a strategic asset. And in our world today, which is getting more and more fragmented, that is creating a huge geopolitical demand.
We're in the middle of this massive shift where technology and geopolitics are completely intertwined. Countries all over the world, from Europe to India, are realizing they simply can't rely on foreign tech to protect their most vital systems. They're demanding what's called a sovereign security stack. Basically, the power to control their own digital defense, right from the chip level up.
And you can see this global expansion playing out right here in their partnerships. They're working with giants like Cisco in the US on network gear, but they're also partnering with Keynes Semicon to help build out India's own sovereign tech mission. They're with Quably in France on the next generation of quantum computers, and with Medtronic to lock down the US medical device industry. It's a global strategy.
And just to give you an idea of the scale we're talking about here, get this. SEALSQ has already sold over 100 million chips to just one of those clients, Cisco. That's the kind of deep, foundational relationship you build a global business on.
This chart really shows you their whole expansion playbook. Right now, their business is split pretty much 50-50 between the US and the rest of the world. The US is this massive established market, right? It's the perfect solid launchpad to then go and meet that rising global demand for technological independence.
But here's the thing. This quantum-proof foundation, it isn't just about playing defense. It's actually about unlocking a future that would be totally impossible without it. It's about building the layer of trust for what's coming next, the machine economy.
A great way to picture this is to think of all these powerful technologies, AI, IoT, quantum, blockchain, as mighty rivers. For years, they've been flowing on their own paths. But right now, they are all starting to converge into one single, massive lake. And that's creating something entirely new and way, way more powerful.
And the sheer scale here is it's hard to get your head around.
We're not talking about billions of connected devices anymore. We're talking about trillions. Everything from a medical implant inside a person to a drone to a self-driving car, all of it is going to need this kind of deep, chip-level security just to operate safely.
And SEALSQ is already building this secure network. I mean, they're not just on the ground, they're literally in space. Their YSAT constellation already has 21 satellites up there, creating a quantum-resistant global network for this coming Internet of Things.
So the next evolution here is what they call physical AI. This is where these secure devices don't just communicate. They become intelligent agents. They can actually detect new attacks, learn from them in real time, and then reprogram themselves to fight back, creating this kind of planetary-scale technological immune system. It's incredible stuff.
But, for this to be a true machine economy, these smart devices need to do more than just talk to each other. They have to be able to transact, to exchange value. And that is exactly what Sealcoin is for. It's a secure payment system built for machines. So just imagine a delivery drone autonomously buying weather data from a sensor drone, with the whole transaction settled instantly and securely via satellite. That's the future we're talking about.
All right, so let's pull all of this together. What does building this quantum-proofed world, what does it actually mean for all of us?
I think this quote from the CEO really says it all. This whole platform, it's not just a bundle of tech. For a country, or even a big company, it's a sovereign digital aircraft carrier. It's a strategic asset that lets them protect what's theirs and steer their own ship in this new quantum era. For decades, we humans have been the ones building the tools. But we're now at a point where we're building tools that can build for themselves. So it leaves you with this one final thought. If machines, secured by this kind of quantum-proof foundation, can securely transact, learn, and defend themselves, what new world will they build?